Good morning, third grade. I hope you guys are all having a great day. I am so excited that you are here today at school. We are going to be talking about measuring today, what you guys learned about last year and what we're going to be talking about today. Have any of you guys ever heard of how tall, how short, of how far away? Did you guys ever read at home with a parent or a grandparent? Well, today we're going to be talking about, can anyone tell me what an author is? An author is someone that writes a book, and the illustrator is someone that writes the pages. So measuring is, we're going to be talking about that today, and we're going to be reading this book to be talking about what we know. How tall are you? How long is your block? How far away is your school? The only one way to answer these questions is by measuring. That's the only way that we can know how to measure something. So I'm going to be measuring how far away is my school or how tall you are. It's so important to be measuring how tall you are. People have been measuring things for thousands of years. That's a long time, boys and girls. In ancient Egypt, fingers, hands, and arms were used to measuring tools. So we could even measure our hands. The width of one finger is a digit. And the width of 4 fingers is a palm. So take out your hand. Show me 4 fingers. 4 fingers. Oh, good job. Open your hand. Stretch out your fingers. Stretch them out. Stretch, 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 stretch. Good job. The distance from the tip of your thumb to the end of your little fingers was a span. Now, bend your arm. Bend it, bend it, bend it, bend. And the distance from your elbow to the tip of your middle fingers was a cubit. Can you say cubit? Cubit. So when you're measuring it, it's a span, and then this part right here, that's a cubit. Try figuring out your height using the units of measure of ancient Egypt. Stand straight with your back straight against the wall and have an adult make your height with a light pencil mark. So boys and girls, I encourage you to go find your mom and dad and measure how tall you are with a marker. How many cubits tall are you? Lie down on the floor, place your elbow on the floor next to the wall, bend and reach up. Make a light pencil on the wall to where the tip of your middle fingers are. Touch the wall, and that's 1 cubit. So boys and girls, if you're laying down, you're going to be laying your hand all the way up, and your mom and dad can measure how tall your hand is. Now get up and put your elbow at 1 cubit mark. Reach up and make a light pencil mark where the tip of your middle finger touches the wall. That's 2 cubits. Keep measuring cubits. Your height may not be an exact number of cubits. It isn't use of other measure of ancient Egypt too. From cubit market just beneath your height mark, begin measuring spans, palms, and digits. I'm 3 cubits, 1 span, 2 palms, and 2 digits tall. How tall are you? Whoa, look at all the hands. 3 hands, 1 hand, 2 feet, 2 fingers. Whoa. Now ask a friend to measure your height, cubits, span, palms, and digits. If her arm is shorter than yours, her measure will be different from yours. And it probably will be different because we are all different height and shapes. Try measuring the length of your block. Tell your friend and ask an adult to one of the end of your block. Count as many steps as you walk to the other side. So when you're walking down the street, you should be walking how many steps you are taking. Every 2 steps is a pace, a measure used in the ancient Rome. You, your friend, and an adult walking with you may get a different answer. That's because the length of your steps is different. Because we all take different steps. We all walk so differently. If you were to measure a greater distance, perhaps the distance from your house to your school, You might measure it in miles. In ancient Rome, 1 mile was measured by counting 1,000 paces. The Colosseum is exactly 1 mile and 44 paces down the road. Now, I'm sure 1 mile and 83 paces down the road. If everyone used her own arm to measure, we won't know the exact size of anything. If everyone used her own steps to measure paces and miles, we won't know the exact distance to any place. Now, that would be quite hard. That'd be hard to measure our hand and to measure where we're going with our hand. Can we measure our hand and our arm to get places? No, that'd be really silly. Actually, the Colosseum is just 1 mile away. It is the path people often use 1 man's cubit or steps as a standard. That man was usually the people's leader or king. Of course, kings would not travel from house to house to measure things, so standard measuring sticks were made. Look at this is what we have in our school. This is what we use to measure things. What is this called? Is it called a ruler? In different times and parts of the world, there have been many systems of measurement. Today, only 2 systems are widely used. The customary or inch-pound system is used in the United States. The metric system is used almost every day, everywhere else. So we use it so much in the world. We use it all the time in the world, in the United States. The customary system is based on Roman measure. 1 inch is about the width of a thumb, 12 inches are 1 foot, and 3 feet are 1 yard. 5,280 feet equals 1,760 yards are 1 mile. Whoa! Look at all the steps. Look how far she went. The metric system was first proposed over 300 years ago by Father Gabriel Mount, a French priest. The original meter was not only the length of someone's arm or step, it was figured as 1/10 millionth of the distance from North Pole to the equator. All metric measures of length and distance are based on the metric of number of 10. A meter is a little more than 39 inches, 39.37 inches. The meter is the basic unit of measure. 10 meters are 1 decameter. 100 meters equals 1 hectometer. 1,000 meters are 1 kilometer. There are units of smaller than a meter too. 1/10 of a meter is a decimeter. 1/100th of a meter is a centimeter. 1/1000th of a meter is a millimeter. Now, open your refrigerator. Which units of measure would you use inside the customary system of measure the length of a celery stick? Which units in the metric system? Which one would you use? The celery, the pickles, or the milk? We will use the celery to measure it. Which units would you use to measure the length of your kitchen? Which one? Would we use the ruler? And the library is 1 mile. Which units would we use to measure distance from your house to your library? Meters? Which one would you use a small unit to measure a celery ticket? Inches or centimeters? You will use large units to measure your kitchen. Feet, yards, or meters? You would use even larger units to measure the distance of our library. Miles, kilometers. The customary and metric system are just 2 different ways of measuring things. Get a pencil and a long rectangle-shaped pencil of cardboard with 2 perfectly straight edges. Place them on the cardboard straight edge. Copy the ruler marking onto the cardboard straight edge. You have made your own customary system ruler. Now place the cardboards on straight edges alongside. This is 20 centimeters rulers and hold it there. Copy the marking and make your own metric system. Use your ruler to measure your pencil, and each within centimeters. Use it to measure a crayon, your bed, and your pet's tail. So use that measuring stick, boys and girls, and see how you use it. Great job.